771 people to date. 771 people murdered in Chicago this year. It's not inconceivable that before the year is out, we would top 800. That's only 30 more people. It infuriates me when people, for ideological reasons, usually social justice warriors, say there's no such thing as black on black crime. Now, these are just the people who are dead because of shootings. No, keep in mind shootings, stabbings, beatings, however you can murder somebody. But the vast majority of them are gunshot and shot with illegal weapons, bought illegally. And Chicago has the strictest, one of the strictest, if not the strictest, gun laws in the country. And I know for sure that both Illinois and Chicago were the strictest just 5 years ago. Absolutely, because it was basically almost like the Second Amendment was suspended. There was no even ability to carry a gun um, if you were not law enforcement. But yes, 771 in Chicago. Now, keep in mind, that's basically confined to part of the north side around Rogers Park, the south side in the hundreds, and the west side, which is the southwest side. When anybody says the west side, southwest side, and primarily K-Town. I mean, yeah, Little Village. It's full of gang members, but I mean and people also talk about Lawndale and Pilsen and those areas. Those are, I mean, largely Hispanic, and that's not where, I mean, there's murders that take place there, yeah, but the vast majority of them are actually in the black areas. That's not a judgment or anything, that's just a fact. The areas of K-Town, the hundreds, which even people who will go into K-Town won't necessarily go into the hundreds, even though K-Town, I mean, this is the areas that you'd call Chirac. And it's ludicrous to me that there's places in LA. I mean, they always, whenever they picture gang violence in movies, it's always LA and New York. And I have a theory about that now. I always wonder, why the hell do they do that? That's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. Chicago has always been, of the major cities, the deadliest, basically. And I think it's because they can't even go into those areas. You couldn't have a film crew in those areas for the most part. Just like in Sicario, they couldn't actually film in Juarez. They had to just do the aerial shots in Juarez and then basically build what looked like the city of Juarez. I don't know, either in California or basically some other part of Mexico. But yeah, it's, I mean, the stuff they do film in Chicago, like I noticed at Rush, because I'm always down around Rush, they film some big TV show about a hospital in Chicago, whatever that famous show is. They're always filming at Rush, which was Rush Press St. Luke's, a few years ago. Or if you're older, Press St. Luke's, or Presbyterian St. Luke's. But yeah, I mean, God forbid they would film at Loretto. But yeah, these are areas you wouldn't even, don't dare drive through. I mean, I've had to work in these areas many times. And yeah, not even all black neighborhoods are created equal. I mean, it's not just, oh, it's a black neighborhood, it's bad. Um, I mean, yeah, it's strange. And even in these areas, I mean, there are, it's, it's odd that people can think welfare and more social programs and more money and more taxes and more public aid will fix things when that's exactly what doomed Chicago. You can look at Mayor Daley heralding when the Robert Taylor housing projects opened in places like Cabrini Green, him standing outside saying, "This is a new era for Black Americans." Yeah, well, it was. It was the beginning of the hell that they would enter in the 1960s, and still haven't come out of yet. So it's a sad thing. But also the violence afflicts Hispanic neighborhoods and white neighborhoods, and a lot of those neighborhoods. I mean, there's whites, there's Hispanics, there's blacks. Sometimes on those border areas, that's where you see the most amount of violence. All right, peace to you.